Good morning, and welcome to the Voices of the Motherland show right here on the Blackwood Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Kami, and this is the Voices of the Motherland show coming live to you from the Nairobi studios. And I see already we do have Ricardo Bradford. Good morning. I see at Mateo, 1958, you said, Miss Salute. Okay, believe you are greeting me. Hi, at Mateo. Kevin, hi, you said good morning. Good morning to you too. And I do trust that everyone is doing okay. Welcome to the Blackwood Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Kami, and this is the Voices of the Motherland show, whereby we get to talk about, something, some of the things that do get to happen in the society. This is just away from all those attention. This is just a show whereby, you get to give in your views. You get to give in your views regarding some of the things that do get, of course, to happen and affect us in the society. And that is what we get, of course, that is what we get covered for you right here on the Blackwood Fire Network Media for the 21st century. But before I even get to continue with that, remember you can get to log in at www.blackoutfirenetwork.com, and you can proceed and get to watch some of the videos that you might have missed. And still, when you are logged in, you can get to enjoy the music that gets to play live on Blackout Fire Network. And as if that is not enough, we got some amazing blogs that are lined up for you only on Blackout Fire Network Media for the 21st century. And of course, you can proceed to donate and support the stream. We also do get to appreciate that. You can get to donate, that is at www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. Karibuni sana. My name is Kami. Feel free to interact with me. To those who are watching the show, feel free, of course, to give in your views regarding the topic of the day. I remember the topic of the day is all about, claiming back our African culture. There are some things that need to be done for us not to be lost. Because trust me, if we continue with the Western culture, a few years from now, we'll even forget where we are coming from. We'll even forget some of the important cultures that were passed down to us by our ancestors. So, of course, today, basically, the topic of the day is all about, getting back our African culture. But before that, remember, on the Blackout Fire Network, we do have an amazing tour that is coming at the month of April. So please do not miss that. And there's a lot of beautiful things you can get to enjoy while in Tanzania. Remember, we are going to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And trust me, you do not need to miss that, because Tanzania actually offers some amazing things you can get to do. And let me just share a short a video of one amazing artist. I do believe you all know Shoma Josie. I love this lady because, irrespective of being a celebrity, she still hasn't changed her African culture. And she is South African, and they are known for their colorful, dressing. She has portrayed that in music. She has portrayed her culture, which is quite a great thing to do. And remember, today we are talking about how we should, or rather some of the things that we should do to still maintain with our culture. Let me just share this slight video in regards to the Tanzanian tour. Shoma Josie was in Tanzania. I believe she is still there if she hasn't gone back home. But there is some amazing things you can get to do in Tanzania, and that is why I'm telling you that do not miss this opportunity. She was in the Ngorongoro, of course, mountain. You can just briefly take a look. This is some kind of amazing serenity that you can get to enjoy. Let's just listen slightly on what she was doing. But here she was just talking about, a language. Let's just watch this. All right, let me get this. Trying to get the audio. All right. Let me just get the audio as we get to proceed with the show. Remember, she was in Tanzania, and it is quite a good that she went to Tanzania. She went, to travel around Africa, which is quite a good thing. And you can basically get to do a lot of versatile things. You can get to do a lot of versatile things once you are outside your country, because I do believe that Africa offers you a good, it offers you a good and tranquil environment for you, of course, to go out there and express yourself. It offers you that environment whereby you get to be stress free for once. And I'm trying to get the audio of this video. Seems like there is no audio, but of course, it was all about languages. Shoma Josie is a very popular artist, and she is known, of course, for her love, in singing in her native language. Let me just try get the video once more. She has, of course, toured the likes of Serengeti. This is still in Tanzania, and that's why I'm telling you that Tanzania, there's a lot of things that you can get to do once you are, of course, in Tanzania. And just to continue with that, you can also get to enjoy the wild, that is the wild Serengeti. You can also get to enjoy their cuisine. You can get to try out their culture, which is also something great that you can get to do. But all in all, it's all about how comfortable you will be, and that is what it is guaranteed to you at Blackout Fire Network. We guarantee that you will definitely be, of course, comfortable. That is your trip to Tanzania will be comfortable, and trust me, this is one of the things that you should be doing. That is on the year 2021. It is all about traveling. It is all about you trying, to do something for yourself, to do something for your family, to do something that is going, to give you that opportunity to go out there and of course, to go out there and get yourself back, because the moment you are away from all the pressure, from what that is, from the pressures that life can get to give you, you can get, of course, to come back a new being. And of course, being a new being, it gives you the opportunity to do whatever thing that you are, of course, always avoiding to do. Let me just share this video once more of Shoma Josie. She is in Tanzania, and of course, she is quite getting a good, of course, some good moments. That she's getting some good moments in Tanzania. All right, let me know if you can hear me. All right, let me just share this. I think there's something with the audio. All right, here we go. There's something with her audio, but of course you can take a look at how happy she seems to be in Tanzania, and that is basically what you're trying to organize. But of course, this was in Tanzania. This is the hot air balloon. You can also try to do some of these things. This is just what you need for a good vacation. You do not need all those Porsche and fancy things, but you need to get yourself, that is some you time, to get yourself some time from all the pressures that life can get to give you. All right, forgive me with the audio. She has, I think her videos have a little bit of an issue, but this is Shoma Josie all the way from, of course, South Africa, and she did get to tour Tanzania. And remember, of course, all I'm trying to do is just that to get to, and of course, to remind you that we do have the great, amazing Tanzanian tour that is set to take place right here only on Blackout Fire Network. Moving on, let's take a look at some of the ways that we need, of course, that we need to preserve our culture. And let me just start by this. The loss of a culture is definitely something quite bad. Perhaps you may not be understanding why the loss of a culture is bad, but trust me, 20 years from now, you would wish you preserved, your culture the way you found it to be. You will wish that you never, I tried out to live, the Western way, because if anything, I can say that the African culture is slowly eradicating from our society. And the loss of a culture, or rather cultural practices, I'm talking about practices like, for example, these different initiation ceremonies that you do have. I'm talking about the likes of for example, in terms of a ritual that you did get to perform in our culture, the child naming cultures, ceremonies that do get to take place. Some of this culture have actually been looked down upon. They're actually being thought to be something that is way back. But the loss of a culture can lead to reduced social cohesion. And at some point, some people actually, it has affected them to a state of even going through mental health challenges, because an individual's culture is closely linked with his or her sense of identity and belonging to a community. Let me just repeat this. The loss of a culture can clearly actually affect your mental health, and it can, it can get to make you, it can affect your mental health, because the culture is linked with your way, of identity and belonging to a community. So once you get to lose your culture, it is definitely going to mess you up. And that is why I'm telling you that a few years from now, you might note higher chances of you being the same persons are low because of the drastic changes in culture. You want to try the Western culture, you want to try the way of life, the way of maybe looking down upon some of the African rituals that you do get to perform. They get to term it at some point as being demonic, as being a wayward, and you just moving, living your life without it. But in reality, you come to realize that that culture that you got to skip actually did get to affect your life, because some things, or the way we did get to find the existence of some things, that is the way that our ancestors got to lead things to us. They had a meaning. They knew that by doing this and this, it was one way of maybe appeasing the spirits. And it is good for you to ensure that you get to preserve your culture. And of course, the good importance, of course, remember, on this particular show, we are going to take a look at some of the reason why is it. Why is culture, eradicated from us slowly? Why is it eradicated from us? Even the word is not slowly. Why is it that culture has drastically been, of course, has of course drastically eradicated, has been drastically eradicated from our society? And we'll go, of course, to take a look at that. But before that, let's take a look at how important is it to preserve your culture. And of course, that is the importance of preserving your culture, is because of it keeps your integrity as an individual. Perhaps I might be talking about this and you're like, I don't think culture actually plays a role here. But on a real sense, culture highly plays a big role. In that, nowadays, if you work in a home, maybe let's say, let me give an example of a child naming situation. You will be shocked that the modernized, let me use the word, the modernized child, or rather, sorry, the modernized mother wouldn't go ahead and follow the steps of the child naming. For example, in the African society, we do have a time whereby a child is being shaved of his or her hair. That is part of the culture, and it is actually a very big ceremony. And I know it was done to me, because they say that when they get to shave your hair, that is, making you, to move from one stage to another. Also, it gets to keep you healthy. But nowadays, if you walk into a modernized home, you'll be shocked to realize that the child still has her hair. Of course, that is an African culture that has been here. And I do not have anything against that, because some cultures do not do that. But in most African cultures, they get to shave the hair of their baby. You'll be shocked to realize that the grandmother does not spend time with, of course, with the newly, that is, with the mom. And the reason as to this is because maybe the new mom gets to believe that she wouldn't want to spend time with the grandmother or with her mother, because maybe the mother will be ruining her relationship, or the mother will be teaching her wayward things. But in the real sense here is that they say that our parents, they have been in this stage before. Our grandmothers, they have been in this stage before. Take a look at back then in the 90s. Women used, even till now, some women get to do that, but in the 90s, women used to give birth to even 13 children. And it was something that was just the norm. And so you can imagine you not wanting, your grandmother to teach you a thing or two, because you think that, that is just backward. I do not want my child to go through this. How do you think she raised, and of course, by herself? And of course, it is due to the knowledge that was passed to her, and it has been a process. And of course, at Kid Karibu San, you've said exactly, Calmi, you lose your identity and accept other people's morality, like homosexuality and transgender. Absolutely. And talking about that, Kid, every day I get to walk into a mall, I'm like, okay, this has actually been taken on another level in terms of the eradication of culture. I love cakes, yeah, And I'm just shocked at the level at which homosexuality is being on the rise, in that you get to see all these rainbow cakes, all these cakes with sexual themes. And I'm like, okay, I think we are slowly forgetting, not even slowly, the rate at which some of these cakes are bought. You'll be like, people, yes, people have actually bought in the idea that they can, come about with something so vulgar and, portrayed in public, and it will just be normal. But I loved what the Egyptian government did sometime. There was this baker who was coming about with cakes that had, of course, the theme of homosexuality, all these rainbow cakes, all these cakes laced with, all these sexual stuff. And trust me, this lady was banned from continuing with her career of baking, because in one way or another, Islam, that is in Egypt, I'm talking about Egypt, Islam does not allow, the portraying of, of all these homosexuality and so on. But as much as you have been talking about, religion has highly affected us, religion has highly contributed to some of this, but I wouldn't want to dwell on that. But Kit, you are correct. Yes, it has affected us. And remember, earlier on, I was just talking about the situation that is happening. That people nowadays, they want to live like they are, they want just to live with the 21st century things. They be like,